What is going on, guys? It's Jamie and welcome back to another video. And guys, today is the day we are back down in the gym and we are hitting our first session after 2 weeks away from training. So if you've been watching my videos here on YouTube, following my Instagram over the last few weeks, you'll know that I cut my finger up, messed it up pretty badly at work a couple of weeks ago, which meant we obviously had to take some time away from training to let it start to heal. 2 weeks have now passed and my finger's looking really good. It's healing up really nicely. I was at work last week for a couple of days and this week is my first full week back at work, which of course means it is my first full week back in the gym. So as you can see, guys, we are down here at Fortitude now and we are ready, raring to go to get into this session today. It feels like it has been forever. It has been the longest 2 weeks. So I'm gonna head upstairs and start to warm up in just a minute. I'll let you guys know what the plan is for the session as and when we get into it. But guys, if you are as excited as I am for today's video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me. I would really appreciate it. And whilst you're down there, if you're new to the channel or if you just haven't done so already, then make sure you hit that subscribe button as well for brand new videos every single week. Oh my gosh, let's get into it. So you guys will know by now that through my training box, mobility work is a very big part of my training, regardless of the scenario. And today, under the circumstances of not having trained for 2 weeks at all, we are definitely going to be doubling down on that, making sure that everything is doing what it should be, because there's no doubt that we're going to be very tight, very stiff after 2 weeks of, as I said, like no training whatsoever. So big focus on mobility work today, guys, making sure everything is nice and warm, nice and loose before we get into this session. And it's really going to pay off when we start getting back into these workouts.
You want to beat L? Yo, cheek.
So today's session, guys, is purely going to be just a low bar squat, and the main reason for this is just to kind of give my body a bit of a chance to ease back into training, because 2 weeks doesn't sound like a lot, isn't really a long time, but in regards to training, not doing anything for 2 weeks and then like going straight back into it, it's kind of almost like a death sentence. These moves. What's up, bro? Alright, man.
Good to see you. How is the...
Can't remember what I was saying now. Yeah, obviously there's a high chance that I'm going to have lost a little bit of strength on these movements, so there's no way I can expect to come back straight back into program to the numbers that I was hitting a couple of weeks ago before everything kind of fell off. I'm going to speak to you guys towards the end of the video regarding my plans for like the next few weeks, getting back into transition of training and stuff like that. But yeah, today, guys, purely just a low bar session. And that will be the same for this whole week. I'll have just a flat bench session tomorrow, maybe with a couple of accessories. And then a few days after that, we'll hit a deadlift session, see how things are feeling. That one's going to be important as well, because obviously the grip might be a slight issue. Going to be have to using straps, maybe adapt a little bit in that sense. But regardless, it's going to be really good this week to just get back into something, because oh my gosh, I have missed it. So we're going to start warming up, chucking some weight on the bar here. No strict plans about what I want to work up to today. We're purely just going to see how I feel. As I said, we're off program, so we've got no top set like set in stone. Just going to keep working up, see how I feel, and we'll gauge a top set from there. Still working our way up, guys. 3 reds moving quite nicely there, not gonna lie. It was a bit of a shock to the system at the bottom of the hole, but I think I just maybe underestimated a little bit. Well, we're gonna keep going up. 200 kilos is loaded now, so we're gonna take that for a single in a minute. Maybe go up again after that, 210, perhaps on the cards. We'll see how it feels. So top set moving very good there, guys. We went up to 210 and we managed to take it for a double there, which is pretty good, don't get me wrong. That's not quite where we were before, obviously, but regardless, I mean, it still moved very well. And of course, first session back completely, so just like, regardless of how strong we were, that first session back is always going to feel like slightly heavier than it should be. And hopefully, you know, it's not going to take long. Over the next couple of weeks, we can start to get back to where we were. Really good, happy with that top set. We're backing off now. We're not going to risk anything. Not going to go too silly on the squats today. We're going to back off with 3 sets of 3 at 190 kilograms, and then that is going to do it for this session. Okay guys, so that is going to wrap us up for this session today. And I'm really happy with how that went, regardless of like numbers or how strong I felt or anything like that. It just felt so good to just be back in the gym. On top of everything, like getting back under the bar, being able to just train and do stuff, just felt absolutely incredible. I'm never taking training for granted again. If you go to the gym yourself, you're into training, you all know just how important it is, like just for your day-to-day, like just to feel good in yourself, and to not have that over the last couple of weeks has just been really suckish. So to be able to get back in here, hit a session, just absolutely incredible. That is going to do it for the session though, guys. As I said, I'm going to catch up with you a little bit when we get home, just run through like a little bit of a general plan for the next few weeks, the transition period as we get back into training and eventually back onto program. So yeah, I'm going to head off home and I'll see you guys in a minute. So it is actually the following weekend now after that session that you have just watched, which means we are now at the end of our first full week of training back in the gym. And honestly guys, it feels so good to just be back to it. I'm not gonna lie, the 2 weeks of no training whatsoever definitely caught up on me, because although I only did 3 sessions this week, the low bar session you just watched, the flat bench session and the deadlift session, the DOMs were absolutely insane. My quads, considering I only done like those 4 or 5 sets in this session, the quad DOMs were absolutely ridiculous this week. So it just goes to show, guys, that is obviously the effect that not training can have on you when you do get back to it. And that kind of just backs up my reason personally why I didn't want to go like fully back into program training straight away. I wanted to kind of ease my way in for those reasons. As I said at the end of that session there though, I do just quickly want to run you guys through a few kind of like plans, what I have in my head that I want to do over the next few weeks as we transition back into training and hopefully get back onto program at some point in the near future. So as I said, this was the first full week back in the gym, and in my head at the minute what I'm thinking about doing is doing another 2 weeks off program, just kind of my own sessions. The sessions will resemble my programmed workouts a little bit more than this week. As this was the first week completely, I just wanted to literally do the squat, bench and deadlift. Next week and the week after, I'm gonna change the sessions a little bit so they look more like my program sessions, but reps wise, weights wise, I'm still gonna be doing my own thing rather than the programmed weight. So over the next couple of weeks, that is what I'm going to be doing with that. And in regards to getting back onto program, all I need to think about is where I kind of want to jump back in, because obviously before I injured my finger, I was on the 10th week of my second run through the 12-week split, which meant we were in a really good position, which is why it was just such a shame, such bad timing really. So it's just whether when I go back on, I want to start the program all over again from week 1 or jump back in on week 7, which would have been the week after the deload, and then just run the last 6 weeks of the program. Because all I'm thinking is if I start it again from week 1, I'd have to do the same numbers that I was doing last time, the same singles for my squat, bench and deadlift, whereas like in myself I'd probably feel stronger, because if I'd carried on going before my finger, I would have obviously had new singles. Or as well, what I could do in that situation would be to test some new 1 rep maxes for squat, bench and deadlift before restarting the program, and then using those updated numbers you know, for the whole thing. The only problem with that is if I'm going to do that over the next 3, 4, 5 weeks, that isn't a long time to have been back in the gym, getting my strength back to where it was, in order to be able to actually go for some good 1 rep maxes. So it's all a bit up in the air at the minute, guys. I'm not entirely sure in regards to that what I want to do. The other thing is as well, the program that I am on, the Jamal Browner Strength Studio TT Intermediate Powerlifting program, I'm on volume 3, that's the one I've been running. At the end of February, they are actually bringing out a volume 4, so a brand new program, which obviously will be different to the one that I'm on. That is interesting me a little bit, tickling my fancy a little bit. I might wait around for that and just start that one as like a fresh program. That's something that I've been thinking about as well. But regardless, guys, over the next few weeks we'll be transitioning back towards those programmed workouts. In regards to strength and how I felt during those sessions this week, overall, I mean, not entirely too bad. I spoke a little bit about it in the session that you guys have just watched, but regardless of how heavy the weights are feeling in that first week back, purely because it is the first week back, everything's just going to feel a little bit off anyway. So I mean, between this week and next week there might be some nice increases in the weights, because obviously I'll be back on my bulk fully, and I'll have a week's training under my belt, kind of getting back into those movement patterns and stuff. The first week is kind of just like almost like a buffer period, I guess, just kind of getting, you literally used to back into the gym, back underneath the bar, and getting used to those weights again. So I'm hoping that, within 2 or 3 weeks of good food, good bulking, and some good sessions in the gym, I can be somewhat up to where I was 2 or 3 weeks ago before my injury. I think at the minute the easiest way to put it, to describe to you guys, is that my RPE for weights has kind of gone from like a 6 or a 7 to an 8 or a 9. So some weight that was an RPE 6 or 7 before now feels like an 8 or a 9. So a little bit of work to do there, guys, but at the end of the day, that is what it is all about. You can't control these things, so I'm just happy to be back in the gym and have the chance to get back up to where we were, and hopefully we haven't lost too much time in doing so. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this week's video. I really hope that you enjoyed this one. It's been so good to get back in the gym with my camera, vlogging these training sessions again. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching them. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me. I would really appreciate it, and leave a comment if you feel like it down below. Let me know what you thought of the video. And as always, if you guys are new to the channel, or if you just haven't done so already, then make sure you hit that subscribe button as well for brand new videos every single week. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.